Good evening, students. Today we will start with the topic applications of equilibrium constants. Number one is predicting the extent of a reaction. In simple terms, this means that whenever a reaction is occurring, all the reactants might not be converted into products. Sometimes all the reactants will react together properly and it will be converted to products. Why it happens? Because you see, whenever we do a reaction, there are certain conditions, you have to do it in a particular temperature, particular pressure, right? There is a certain condition of a reaction to occur, or sometimes you might have to heat it. So whenever the conditions are not proper or it does not fit with the reaction, then the reaction finds the reactants find difficulties in reacting together. Okay, but on the other hand, what happens, sometimes the reactants will react together. Also, when you supply the proper conditions, all the reactants will react together to form the products, right? So this is the meaning of extent of a reaction, whether a reaction is occurring or not. Or sometimes it also happens that a reaction is occurring and at a point it will stop. Okay, because sometimes the concentration of the reactants gets over, or sometimes the conditions become difficult to match at a certain point. So this is the meaning of extent of a reaction. Now, while discussing the extent of a reaction, you can already see I have written completion of a reaction and rarely proceeds, or sometimes it will happen that it will go halfway. Now when Kc is greater than 10 to the power 3 means here 1000, right? So when Kc, the range is more than 10 to the power 3, that is starting from 10 to the power 4. It may be 2 into 10 to the power 4, right? 2.1 into 10 to the power 4. So under this condition, that when Kc, the range is 10 to the power 4, then the reaction is completed. All the reactants will react together to give us the product. Clear? So this is starting from 10 to the power 4. Now if Kc is less than 10 to the power minus 3, one thing you notice here, that 10 to the power minus 3, lesser than that will be 10 to the power minus 4, because on a scale from negative, right? First negative, then 0, then positive, means what? From left hand side it is in the increasing order. So 10 to the power 4 will lie this side. So 10 to the power minus 4, when Kc is equal to 10 to the power minus 4 or 10 to the power minus 5 means less than 10 to the power minus 3. Minus 3 means 1 by 1000, right? So it is less than that, then the reaction finds difficulty in approaching. That is, the reactants will not react among itself to give us the product. It rarely proceeds. I think so it's clear. Next, when the range of Kc, when the value of Kc will be in between 10 to the power 3 and 10 to the power minus 3, then what will happen? Then the reactants will react among itself. Okay, you will get some amount of reactants and also you will get some amount of products. You can say it is in equilibrium. You will get appreciable amount of reactants and appreciable amount of products. So these are the conditions under which you can determine the extent of a reaction, because you see you have a formula for calculating the Kc depending on the concentration of the reactants and products. Let me show you. This is the formula for Kc, isn't it? For a generalized equation like this is the formula, and if you know the concentrations, you can determine Kc. And whenever you get the value of Kc, either you will get at a range of 10 to the power 3, or it will be less than 10 to the power minus 3, or it will be in between 10 to the power 3 and 10 to the power minus 3. And by observing the Kc value, you can determine whether a reaction is completed, or it has not started, or it is in between. So these are the conditions for predicting how much the reaction has occurred, or whether it has occurred or not. So these are the things here. Number 2 is predicting the direction of a reaction. You see, whenever a reaction is occurring, it may be in the forward direction, it may be in the backward direction, right? Or it may be between occurring both, means at equilibrium. Clear? So whenever reaction is occurring in the forward direction, means reaction is occurring in the reverse direction, they go on simultaneously. But at equilibrium, what happens? The rate of the forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of the backward reaction. Clear? So in order to predict the direction of the reaction, we have to introduce one quantity, that is your QC, which is known as the reaction quotient. Clear? So this is like similar with Kc, but there is a slight difference, that equilibrium constant value is obtained when the reaction has attained equilibrium, but QC value can be obtained at any interval or at during the whole course of the reaction. Okay, right from the starting up to the end of the reaction you can calculate QC, but QC becomes Kc when the when a reaction is at equilibrium. That's it. Okay, so we have got a similar formula for QC, for reaction quotient, because in order to calculate QC, you can choose any point of time during the whole course of the reaction. You can choose any point of time, and at certain point you might get that QC becoming equal to Kc, that is the point of equilibrium. Okay, so here also you will get three criteria. If QC is greater than Kc, okay, if QC is greater than Kc, then it is in the reverse direction. Reverse direction means backward direction, means C plus D is reacting to give A plus B. Clear? Next, QC is less than Kc. This is for the forward direction, means A plus B reacting to give C plus D. When QC becomes equal to Kc, then it is in equilibrium state. I hope this is clear. Next, another topic, the last one, is that relation between Kc, QC and Gibbs energy. Gibbs energy we have studied already, right? We have studied in thermodynamics. So now we will get a relationship between QC, Kc and G. Okay, so Gibbs energy is denoted by G. You know the formula about delta G equal to delta G naught plus RT ln QC. This is the formula that we have got in thermodynamics. But here instead of QC it was K. Okay, so delta G is what? Gives free energy. Delta G naught means standard Gibbs free energy, and R means gas constant, T means temperature, ln Q. Okay, QC is reaction quotient, ln is natural log. This is a function like we used to do plus, minus, division, multiplication, right? So in higher classes you will get more than that. Some of the calculations cannot be done just by using plus, multiplication, right? So you see, whenever like a concept is there, no, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, if there are 100 of 5, will you able to calculate it on your hand or by just calculation calculator? No, not so. There has to be a proper formula for this. So what we do, 5 to the power n, this is the formula, right? So in the scientific calculator you can calculate this. Okay, so this is the formula. Similarly, while in higher classes, when we have to do bigger calculations, we cannot actually calculate means higher numbers. Suppose 5 to the power 25. Okay, so by multiplication also you cannot do it, and suppose you don't have the scientific calculator, then what we will do, we will use the term logarithm. Okay, so by logarithm it becomes very easy for us to solve some high powers, like which one we cannot calculate in our hand. So log of 5 to the power 25. Okay, so this is simplified as 25 log of 5. Now you have to do 25 into, there is a particular value for log of 5 in the log table, and you can just put that value and you will get the answer. See how it is easy it is, right? So in order to simplify some complicated calculations, some functions are introduced, right, by using some formulas. So these are like log, then natural log, then integration, summation, all these are functions. Now Coming back to chemistry, at equilibrium, delta G equal to 0. At equilibrium, you know delta G, that is your Gibbs energy, becomes equal to 0, and you also know, okay, we have already got it here, that QC also becomes equal to KC. Now we have to put the values here. So this becomes 0, delta G naught is as it is, RT ln QC, this will become KC here. Next, bring the delta C in one side and RT ln KC in one side. So this will become negative. This is minus RT ln KC. I hope this is clear. These are simple mathematics formula. Okay. So ln KC. Okay. So this will become KC. So ln KC equal to delta G naught by RT. One negative will be there. Okay. Minus delta G naught by RT. I hope this is clear. Okay, so KC equal to, now here we have to use one formula. Okay, so let us see this. So log and ln, all the formulas are similar. Whenever you have to convert ln to log, one conversion is there, that is 2.303. I have already explained this, right? So suppose 1 kg is equal to how much gram? How much gram? 1000 gram. Similarly, ln of something is equal to how much of the log x, that is 2.303. so this is actually a conversion factor, and their bases are different. For log it's base 10, and for natural log it's base e. Okay, now suppose log a is equal to b. The value of a will be a equal to 10 to the power b. So the base, that is the 10 present here, will go here, become the base here. This is the subscript actually. So the base and b will become the power. Similarly for ln, sorry, this is ln. Okay, so for ln ae, okay, a base e equal to b. So actually we do not say a base e. This is just to clarify you. You just have to say ln a. E is the base of ln, that is understood. Okay, and whenever we will say log of a, the base 10 is understood. We don't have to repeat it. So ln a equal to b. Now the value of a equal to e to the power b. Similar as this, right? But the bases are different. Okay, and the number that is found on your right hand side will become the power. That's it. So here also you can use that formula, ln kc equal to minus delta g naught by rt. So kc value will be e to the power minus delta g by rt. So this will become the power, and ln is there, so e is the base here, so e will come here, e to the power minus delta g naught by rt. I hope this is clear. Little bit more extension of this formula is there. You have to note it carefully. This is a negative value, right? This is a negative value. For individual delta G naught, if we talk about only delta G naught, if this becomes negative, then negative will become positive, right? So this whole term will become positive, and in that condition what happens, Kc also becomes positive, or Kc becomes greater than 1. Under that condition, the reaction is spontaneous. Spontaneous means occurring by itself. This means the reaction is proceeding in the forward direction. Clear? And whenever reaction is occurring in the forward direction, products will be more, because reactants are reacting together, okay, and they react together to give the products. In that case, products will be more. Or just remember that the reaction is occurring in the forward direction. Similarly, if delta G is greater than 0, means this is positive, so negative and positive will become negative only. In that condition, Kc will also be less than 1, right? So under that condition, your reactants and products is there. The products will be converted to reactants, means backward direction. I hope this is clear, and this much only for today. We will meet in the next class. Thank you.